So I was thinking, right? Like, do you remember how did we met? The first time we met.
Wasn't it in a Cheras Cafe? It was with Joan Dior, right?
Right,
It
right,
was you and who else?
right.
I remember it was Joan and only and someone. Oh, your friends?
Yeah, Jessica.
Ah.
Yeah, we were having. What were we talking about? I think we're just hanging out, right? Oh yeah, I know. You just came back from US. You just came back from your study or mission trip. I don't remember which one.
But I think I was working in Pearly that time. And then I came back from
Ah, I see. I remember before you came back, right? Everybody kept telling me you really have to hit up with Pearl because she's so amazing. She's like she quit her job, her high banking job, like high paying, just to go study
yeah,
ministry school all the way in California Bethel Church.
Yep.
And definitely you have so many miracles there to share. And not only that, after graduating, you choose to come back Malaysia. There's so many opportunity for you to be. So why do you want to come back?
Because it's hope.
It's hope.
Because I feel like there's still like revival for Malaysia and I want to be part of that.
I love that. And I remember when we first met, you were sharing about how you guys were praying for like you wanted changes or something, and it did changes. COVID happened, and everybody's like, and you guys were like, whoa, we didn't pray for COVID to happen, but I think that's just life, right?
Yeah, but when I came back to Malaysia, it was during lockdown. So that's why I decided to start like my inner healing and life coaching business online.
I see.
Yeah, and then people because they were locked down, so people had a lot of time to explore their feelings, and a lot of people were very depressed.
And I am
very
severely
jaded with life, and so
because they were figuring out like, okay, imagine when you're stuck in a 9 to 5 job, you're always working. You don't really sit down and think like, what do you really want to do in life? And when COVID happened, you're forced to sit alone in your room and just think about and just ponder like, what do you really want to do? But I need to, and then after the other recording, I need to edit. Oh, a lot of things to do.
good luck with editing because there's so many bloopers here.
Oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about it. I feel like subtitle is a thing. Like you have to like edit because like right now CapCut, right? They have the auto translate, auto caption, but they cannot completely capture all the words. So you still have to click in one by one and be like, edit. No, I just.
Especially when Malaysian, we have a lot of lah.
Let's continue to like, how do you go from like a banker to fly all the way to US and study better? Sorry, what was your course?
My course?
Yeah, in battle.
Oh, it's a ministry school.
Yeah, how do you like just give up your high-paying job in banking and just like completely move? Like, do people think it's like super crazy?
Yeah, a lot of people are like, what? Are you crazy?
Yeah, because you're not getting paid, by the way. How long was your school?
3 years.
You just do it. Wow, girl.
Just did it.
I believe your parents did fund some of your, or like, do you fully self-fund?
My parents didn't. But I think along the way, like God was so good, like He brought people my way, and there's one particular person
Wow.
that sponsored quite a lot of my school fees. Yeah.
That's so crazy. I don't know how you do it. Like, I think, yeah, it's definitely a God thing.
I guess
Thank you.
a desire in my heart.
Thank you. It looks so good. I need carbs, after workout. So. Yeah, please continue to like speak about your experience.
Yeah, I think it's just a desire to see revival in Malaysia and also lives change. I mean, I was already actively serving in church, but it was just at that moment I felt like there could be more things that I could do.
I love that.
And I've been living in a life that I just minimize myself. Like I grew up thinking like I have no gifting, I have nothing to give. And probably I reduced myself to okay, maybe I could just pray and serve in church capacity and give my tithing all of us, not just me, all of us, we just haven't like discovered or believed in ourselves yet. And so that's when I decided that I want to live a life that is just not about working 9 to 5, not about earning money, but doing more for the kingdom of God.
I love that. I forgot we should pray. Like, come. Holy Father, I just want to uphold this relationship between me and Pearl. Thank you for, hooking us up. And thank you for Pearl bringing me around Bangsar. I hope that, Lord, you will bless this, our vlog, and bless our own business. And everything we do, Lord, we want to put you first. Seek first the kingdom, and everything will be added. Thank you, Jesus. In Jesus' name, pray. Amen. Yeah. Do you, like, when you first quit your job, right, do you feel like there's definitely something in your life happen to be like, hey, I'm just gonna drop everything in Malaysia and be like, like out of all the things you can do, out of all the ministry school you can go to ministry school in Malaysia. Why?
That's exactly what my dad said.
Right. You don't have to quit your job. You can still part time, work anything. Like why? I think. But by the way, there's nothing wrong. I feel like it's such a rare opportunity to go to Bethel Ministry because they're known for the Church of Miracle. If you don't know, the Bethel music are so popular. They have like 1 billion stream and above on Spotify. Yeah, and for me, right, for Christian like me, I grew up as a Christian, but I heard a lot of stories like people just drop things and just completely move overseas to do what God called them to do. But like, how do you really like put yourself down and like drop everything in your life and like just pursue what God called them, like opening up a church, go to Africa, serve to
I think it's also like, I don't know, like I discovered, not that I knew back then, but I discovered that when you really unplug and unroot yourself from a very familiar surrounding, and you go to, if I were to, let's say, study Bible school in Malaysia, it still be the same kind of culture, same way of thinking to a certain extent. But when you actually totally uproot yourself, and you put yourself in a sort of position that you're going to trust God wholeheartedly, and you're trying to maneuver and navigate through a totally new culture. And I didn't regret at all like spending US dollars.
USD, man,
Being ran there and living there
for 3 years, with no income.
No income. Like you learn a whole different kingdom culture that you would have never experienced in a typical Asian country. Yeah. So I learned a lot from the Americans actually, like their boldness, their openness, but also the ability to have fun, to chase your dreams. Because I think like in the Asian community, there's a lot of shame-based community, very performance-based, which
Very money-based.
yeah, you're just
Chasing something.
chasing something.
I feel like, especially in Malaysian culture, we're both Malaysian Chinese. So I feel like for both of us, we grew up in Malaysian Chinese culture, right? All our family like really focus on our career. They judge us based on how much money you make, what kind of uni you went to. So like, how does your dad feel? Like you came from a high-ranking banker, earning so much money, right, in OCBC. Just drop everything and be like, oh, pa, sorry, I want to go do ministry all the way in Bethel Ministry. I'm gonna spend this amount of money, 3 years, no income. I'm gonna have fun, basically. I mean, some people would think you're having fun. Just to do church, and everybody knows you're not earning a lot of money from church ministry.
Obviously, my parents had their concerns.
Yeah.
I remember that they sat me down in front of my whole family and just for 2 hours, my dad was asking me a lot of questions like,
Are you serious? Are you delusional?
why do you think that God is in America and not in Asia?
Yeah, God is everywhere, right? You don't have to do ministry all the way over there.
Yeah, it's like, then what is your goal or your purpose after that? What are you going to do? Which at that point in time, I didn't know what I was going to do. And I said, but I believe that God will reveal to me lah.
Wow.
And then he was like, what if God doesn't reveal to you? Then what then?
But he always will. He always come true.
So childlike faith, and I had, to be honest, I had a lot of I don't know. And because that is a life of faith, right? Like I really,
Right.
you asked me like 7 years ago, would I be, could I imagine me traveling to different states, different countries, doing ministry? Like I wouldn't. Would you imagine me doing life coaching or inner healing business? I also wouldn't know, right? But God is faithful and He will lead you step by step. Lah.
Well, I feel like this is totally an act of faith work, right? So cool.
How long have you been in the real estate?
Okay, so for me, right, I quit my banking job around.
Oh, you were used for bank.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I relate to you because we're both, even though I'm not in industry, I quit my 9 to 5. I got a routine, a fixed salary, to now owning my own business. We call ourselves entrepreneur. Like it's fancy, but it's not. Like you have to pay your own tax. A lot of things you have to like change your mindset. And because I'm doing project, I don't really get paid immediately. Like when you sell, you have to wait like 3 to 6 months, depending on. That's the thing about like when people think you're in real estate, right, you're like, wow, filthy rich, you're cash strong, but it's not. Plus, plus developer pay you in batches, in tiers, in stages, as like the bank pay them, or as like the buyer pay them. Yeah, so it's like, so but before you start, right, everybody will tell you, especially if you do project, you have to have a steady, you have to have save, so you can like start your own business. Everything we do, entrepreneur.
And then you manage your cash flow. Any regrets?
I never regret it because I feel like I'm never okay, the thing is I like the routine, but the salary is not for me. Because I think I have like minor ADHD, so I need to fix myself a routine, or else my mind just go, oh, 我要这个 because I have so many ideas I want to do, so many career paths we can choose to do, right? Yeah, so, and I feel like I'm quite creative, so, and real estate, it's so fun, actually. If it wasn't that our unstable income, like we're getting paid only after the buyer buy, I feel like I would enjoy it more. But because of the commission thing, right, because like the buyer will also feel like, oh, why you keep pushing me, right? 你买耶， like 可以啊，现在 sign 了，别紧，我们先 try 咯。你们也是觉得好像 like everybody got their own financial burden. Yeah, and from our side, we'll be feeling like, oh, we need our rent, we need money for our rent, and our future marketing. Because imagine we're spending so much money, depends how big you want to scale your business, right? Yeah, or FB ads, Instagram. That's why when you scroll, right, you see a lot of our ads, or even on my YouTube. So, like, do you think this kind of equipment doesn't need money? Buying an iPhone 16 Pro Max, wink wink. I feel like because you also do your own business, right? You do understand you have to invest. Like her investment is even bigger than mine. She went to US all the way, right? In that sense, education, the 3 years, no income, your opportunity cost. Because I come from accounting background, now you have to put into account everything. Yeah. And you're doing on that 3 year on faith. You haven't get paid yet. Now you have been working for 3 years now.
3.5 years.
Yeah. Do you think your 3.5 years can cover whatever you can't even break even, right?
No.
Yeah. So we're talking in like business term. It just doesn't make sense. That's how church ministry is. But I feel like God is always faithful. He, like, there are things you cannot see. Like He will bless you in things, maybe not in financially, but in other places.
Yeah.
You feel so much more fulfilled. Do you feel burnout working in?
I mean, I get tired, like, especially when I speak in churches and
Right.
like I speak day and night. Or some days, like I just go on an inner healing marathon where I do like 5 sessions back to back. Because faster sessions back to back. So that I'll be like, okay, I'm quite tired. Let me go for a massage. But in overall, I don't feel depressed. I don't feel burnout. I feel like I'm living the best time of my life. True, I could be earning my 5-figure salary, but I wouldn't be as happy or fulfilled. I guess
As you are right now.
I always ask myself at the end of your life, would you look back and think to yourself, oh, I lived a very contented life, I impacted the world, I changed lives? Or would I just want to
We say
live for
someone's soul.
myself? Yeah, would I just want to live for myself and have a nice Prada bag? I mean, please go and buy a Prada bag. Like, please
Live in Bangsar. Wink,
Live in
wink.
Bangsar.
I buy a landed bungalow. Wink, wink. Only 10 million and above. Wink, wink.
I also don't know how much my house is, but
Yeah, it's
not
like
my
10 million
house,
and
not
above.
my house lah.
Landed.
My parents' house.
You know, drive fancy cars like Lamborghini SUV, you know. I feel like those kind of things doesn't really faze you, right? You don't even know it's a Lamborghini
Yeah, I
SUV.
don't know. If you tell me, so I don't know.
I love that. Actually, a lot of people who doesn't really care about this kind of materialistic, right? They think car is just a transport. As long as it's safe, like, yeah, okay. A lot of friends like the Patron X3, X5. It's easy. It's cheap. It's made in China. Malaysian brand. And it's kind of like BMW, a copy of BMW, made in China. Like everything, all the cars. I remember when we were young, right? When we want to buy cars made from China, be like, okay, ma, 会不会 break down now? Are you sure? But now it's all the hype, man. Like buying in BYD, 还有什么 Xiaomi car, I don't know. I don't know what's the trending.
I can't contribute to this car conversation.
Oh yeah, you're like, I don't even know. Okay, I'm sorry.
I do have a dream car, which is a Mini Cooper.
I love Mini Cooper.
That's for the future, I guess.
I feel like us and you will receive, right? God will really like provide. But there's also a okay. So there's some controversy, right? For people who work in church ministry to own like fancy things, to own lands, properties, or like fancy car like Mini Cooper is considered fancy. I feel like a lot of people would assume that if you're working in church ministry, you should be frugal. Give your money to the poor. Give everything back. What do you feel? And a lot of people who go into ministry, like, because they're not earning a lot of money. Like, example, if their salary is like 2K or like like really bare minimum, a lot of people couldn't survive on the salary alone. They need a lot of like sponsor. Like, this is the truth, like, guys. I'm like just telling you like what it's like to give up everything in life and like go into church ministry.
That might be the norm, but it doesn't mean that we can't break out of the norm. Like in scriptures, there's always a lot of verses regarding the abundant life, which also includes wealth.
Wow.
And also in Deuteronomy chapter 8, like it says that God has given us ability to create wealth.
I love that.
And so, when we look at Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, when we were first introduced to God,
Yeah.
it wasn't God the Father, it wasn't God the love or whatever, it was God the Creator.
Wow, that is so good.
Because say like in the beginning God created heaven and earth, right? So it is in our DNA to create. And so if we could tap and have access to creativity, we can use that creativity to generate wealth, right? I think a part of me was a bit not anxious, but was wondering that okay, once I quit my job, am I going to lose the ability to bless other people? Because it's something that I love doing, and I had the means to, like buy people lunch or like And then I realized like, hey, no, like we also should have the same mentality that we can generate wealth and we should continue to bless people regardless of what our paycheck is.
I agree. Actually, I feel like recently a lot of bivocal pastor came out on the market. So bivocal pastor means you're working in the marketplace while being a pastor. Because again, this is not a calling for everybody. Because some are just called to full-time ministry. Because you cannot separate your time from full-time ministry and full-time work. Like we only got 24/7 a day, right? And I remember I was so inspired by my church because I come from Skyline SIB. Shout out to you guys in Sabah.
You came from Skyline, huh?
Yeah. So when we were having this conversation with the person in Pilates, right, I was like, oh, she also from SIB and also from Sabah. So it's like, wow, crazy. And our pastor, he's a vocational pastor. He got Pastor Philip, Pastor Dr. Philip, man. So he got full-time ministry he's a full-time doctor, yet a full-time ministry, like working full-time as a pastor. Do you know how much time it costs? Like how big of a brain you have to be, like serving serving patient Monday to Friday, maybe 9 to 5 because he owns his own clinic, and Saturday, Sunday preparing sermon. Hey, where do you find the time to prepare sermon? Because Sunday is the time you have to pray and preach. And building a church, right? It's not like, hey, Malaya, like let's start a church. It's like there's so many planning, so many prayer, so many growing behind the scene. Like you, as you know. And for Pastor Philip background, right? He studied in UK, Oxford, or something. Like she got her doctor degree before or while doing her full-time ministry. Like double degree is like crazy. And out of all the places he could be, right, he came back to Sabah to serve our small town.
Yeah.
I believe you met him in person.
I mean, I know he don't know me now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard his church is thriving really well, and he recently got healed of cancer. Yeah. I think the last announcement they made, like the results were really good. So I love the whole idea of making work your ministry. And there's no like segregation or separation between like the church and the marketplace. But yeah, even when I do sessions or do corporate training for my clients, I use kingdom principles, but you don't have to make it like, oh, this is Jesus, this is church. No, it's like kingdom principles. And people will literally cry during my training. I'm talking about all religion kind of training. It's really that.
I think since we're in this topic, right, can we talk about your business? Like, so is it like a therapy thing? Like, what is this? Like self-healing?
A bit like therapy, a bit like counseling.
Like, do you do like sound therapy?
We call it inner healing. So it's pretty similar to CBT in the psychology terms, counseling term. So I do inner healing, which focuses on your calm to your breathing, and then I also do life coaching, which are like kind of formulating practical steps for you to achieve your goal.
Wow.
So goals like career goals, relationship goals, whatever, right? Because it's not enough to be like healed of your fears or your insecurities, but you do want to achieve like a better future, a goal. So a lot of my clients, they first come to me and say like, oh, I'm not happy in my career, I want to change my career. I'm like, okay, let's explore a little bit deeper. And when we found out that what's stopping you from going into a new career or a better career, it's maybe self-sabotage. Might be this belief system that I'm not good enough. Right? So we do inner healing first to kind of heal that part and to change your belief system. And then after that, it moves on to more coaching discussion where we, discuss on practical steps and strategies to work towards. Yeah. Some of my clients actually move on to build their own businesses and get better jobs out of it.
Can I ask, like, is it only Christian can come to you, or like, are you guys open?
I'm not Christian clients.
How do you feel for our audience? Like, some people might feel like, I don't want to go to this kind of people. They definitely ask me to go to church one, you know, 很烦吧? Like, they preach 又讲 Jesus 咯 down on the cross. I don't believe, but I'm feeling this deep void in my heart, and there's some issue going on. Maybe like, life sucks. You get sad. Maybe your partner cheat on you, infidelity happen, or like family. A lot of friends, right? After I grew up, right, I realized a lot of people grew up with family trauma. Father, mother, they break up, separate. A lot of like divorce happening, and a lot of fighting in life. That makes them, when they grew up, right, they thought they could change, but they would end up finding their abusive husband or like abusive boyfriend repeating the same pattern, even though they make constant changes.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, like life just put them, like, we talk about like manifesting, right? When you put it into perspective, like why I already had some people with that. I already had a hard life. Like, why can't I deserve someone, like loving? Why did I keep repeating the same person, like same cycle, dating the same man who break my heart, blah 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 blah. How do you say to this kind of thing?
I think there's many factors to it. One is, of course, we talk about generational trauma, where the same trauma that your parents go through, because of they are broken and they're hurt, and they implicate the same thing on you. So sometimes you may have like a very angry grandparent who was very harsh on your parents, or let's say your dad, and then your dad became an angry dad also, and will punish you very severely. But that being said, we all have a choice to end generational trauma with us, right? That's where we go and seek out healing, some reflection, some help, self-help, or God or whatever. So that it stops with us. Like, we take responsibility to end generational trauma so that our future children don't experience the same.
I love that.
But I always speak my clients' language. So if they don't believe in God, I'm like, okay, then I'll speak to you in a manner that you don't believe in God. I tend to be a bit more respectful to my client beliefs. But if they mention I need prayer, I'm like, yeah, let's pray. So
Do you end every session with prayer, even though they're not comfortable?
No,
okay.
I don't. If they're not Christians,
They'll be like, hey, I don't like the church thing, like, keep Jesus away from me. Then you'll be like, you don't preach your...
Actually, I will, in my sign-up form, they will already indicate, I will ask some questions about religion and things like that. So if they're not open to religion, I don't mention religion at all. Yeah.
Hey, that's good. Because I feel like we should respect other people believe and all that. I think we should still preach the gospel. I don't know, preaching the gospel should still be done, but maybe not in like pushing weight. You want to believe in God? You want to give your life to Christ? Like if you don't...
So thinking about the gospel, I'm a little bit more relational. Yeah, so I don't kind of bring it into my professional unless they want it. If not, then it's all more relational, not with my professional clients.
Very nice. Thank you for your sharing. What amazing testimony. We did, FYI, we started this vlog. Just wanna go pilates, enjoy, like hang out around Bangsar. I didn't know we end up
I
doing this
didn't
thing.
know I have to talk for an hour actually. I thought just chill only.
Actually, I still need to talk. I thought we were gonna talk about like what are we doing in Bangsar. Yeah. Well, I believe God brought us here, and I'll see what I can do with the content.
Okay.
Oh, I want to ask, like, for an entrepreneur, like you own your own business, how do you feel? Like, when you first venture out, why don't you first started working in church first before you do this inner healing thing?
Because I never intended to work.
Okay, so you went to Bible school, but you don't work in church.
No, I never intended to work for church because I still love the marketplace. I still love the corporate. I never in my timeline would I wanted to work in church. So yeah, and also because like I love my flexibility. Yeah, I mean how to go Pilates at 12 o'clock, right?
I agree.
You're
Like
working at
for
9
me, and yet the cafe is still full. You know, in Bangsar and cannot find parking. Today is like Tuesday.
Yeah, so that's why I started online. Most of my clients, 90% of my clients are on Zoom, and because that time was locked out. So, but after 3.5 years, because now I think I've scaled up a bit in terms of clientele, I would like to explore for a physical space lah. Not that I can afford yet, but
The Lord will provide.
yeah, working.
The Lord will
towards
provide.
that, yeah.
Please like and subscribe and follow Pearl. I'm gonna please out her Instagram. Please do your promo right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Follow her at
Pearly L.
only on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
What-
on WhatsApp, so
What's your phone number so we can contact you?
016.
I'm gonna put it here. Please like and subscribe and DM her if you need any inner healing. She's really nice. And if you don't want, you can still ask her out for coffee or like Pilates to learn more before you get into the session. I feel like that's a really good way to reach out. Because I feel like it's weird to like hit someone out on internet and be like, hey girl, can you come out with me? I want to do it in this. It's like, why am I telling my family trauma on you? Who are you? But it's easier for me to tell you about because we met through church, we met through like mutual friends, so it's easier that way. Yeah. How do you promote your business actually?
Actually, I initially, like talking about the first year, that I really tried very hard to promote it because you must know that people know me as like a banking person, right? And suddenly I switched.
Yeah, completely. Like after 3 years, you're like coming back to Malaysia, huh? New inner healing, huh? Are you okay?
Yeah, so it's like there's a amount of time that I needed to build confidence and trust with people. But one thing led to another lah. Like like every business, when you have enough clients that trust you, they would start to like word of mouth and refer other people. Yeah, and also because sometimes like I go to teach workshops and preach in different churches.
They will pay you.
They will know
But
what
church
I do
doesn't
lah.
really pay much.
No,
And
but then they know that I'm doing this service, so then the members will sign up. Yeah.
does church pay you?
Sometimes they'll give me a love gift or doing trainings, things like that.
So churches, please hit her up and pay her, please.
Yeah,
'Cause-
there's
or
some
else
churches.
nobody would, or else you cannot afford living in Bangsar.
No, I don't pay for
What
rent.
about
I
Mini
don't pay-
Cooper
I don't pay for rent. I live with my parents.
or like Pilates class? Hit her up right now. Promo. What a cool concept. I feel like you're the only one who did this. I actually have another friend who did like sound therapy. So she buy a thing, 这样子，噔噔噔噔 yeah.
I haven't explored that yet, so I don't know how it works. But there's one that in Bangsar that does it. I think it's called Lion Wellness. It's up the road.
I feel like, I mean, everybody's so depressed from life, right? In KL.
Not everyone lah, but
Most. I feel like there's definitely a growing market for this kind of service because we couldn't tell our friends or like our family members, especially they are the one who causing us this kind of drama. Yeah. So thank you for your work.
welcome.
Not only from your word to word mouth, how do you promote your own business? Like, do you do like internet, like this kind of promotion on social media, TikTok, so people can reach out?
I mean, I do post some stuff on Instagram. Sometimes they are more educational. Sometimes it's just me yapping.
Like what we're doing right now, right?
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, I haven't focused like a ton in promotion lah. Yeah, which is my bad lah. I should do it.
It's okay. Today is the day. Follow her. WhatsApp her.
Yeah.
What do you feel owning your own business, setting out your own time? Because I feel like for entrepreneur, right? If you don't work, you don't have money. It's not like 9 to 8. Like they give you a certain task and be like, 你做了就做了，没有做就没有做，随便啦。As long as you the KPI OK 就 OK 了。
Ooh.
The devil, the devil.
No lah.
It's me. We've been talking for 41 minutes. Okay.
The introvert in me is dying.
How do you feel about owning your own business, setting your own time, being an entrepreneur? Because if working 9 to for people who want to do their own business, transferring from 9 to 5 to entrepreneur, you're starting at zero. I mean, some people already got some clients from 9 to 5. They already know some people, so it's easier. But what do you suggest for people who start from zero like me and go into real estate or anything they wanna pursue?
I think like firstly you always have to adopt courage, because it's very vulnerable to put yourself out there.
Right?
Like, even
Especially in
doing
front of
this,
camera.
this
Yeah.
social media thing, like
You have to learn a lot, edit.
yeah. I remember like I did enroll in an Instagram course
Oh
before just to
wow!
learn
That's
how
why you're
to
so
do,
good
like,
at
the algorithm. And it's a very steep learning curve. There's a lot of things that you need to learn, and you will be discouraged. Like you
Yeah,
get
for sure.
discouraged by
Yeah.
the hard work that you put in, but
Nobody click in,
yeah, lack
nobody
of
view,
results,
no leads, no
leads.
clients.
Even if there were some leads, like it's a dead end. But there's so many moments that I just cried. I'm like, oh god.
I agree. Actually, I did the same thing, man. I was like thinking about my real estate, right? I actually had 3 cancel booking in 6 months. I broke down the 4th or 5th month because in these 6 months I haven't got one signing, so zero income, and I'm spending so much money on Facebook ads, on all this equipment. I'm not even talking about paying my own rent, car fee, or anything, right? So like when I eat everything, it's all on saving, all my parents' money.
Yeah. So that's where you just have to tell yourself, well, if you feel that God has called you into this, like He will definitely open a way for you. He will. I always believe that when you knock on the door long enough, it will open. Or if you knock on many different doors, like one door will open. So I clung on to that lah, like God's faithfulness, and just to every time I cry, I'm like God, like pick me up. Need to be courageous again to believe that that everything is possible lah. It will take time, but and also like I realized there is a need to not be emotionally moved as much based on your results. What I mean is,
Because we're all both like result oriented. We
Yes.
grew up in a we
Yeah,
grew up in a result oriented culture.
correct.
Yeah.
So I remember like my friend Josh. They have a group of cryptocurrency community, and Josh, I say like, what's the secret of earning money through the crypto market? He's like, oh, you need to have the ability to not be emotional whether the
Okay.
market goes up or the market goes down.
Okay.
So you're rationally trading not based on feelings but on data, right? And so that was his advice, and I was like, yeah, that's very true in every business. Like if you're overly sad when you have no customers, or
You cannot be emotionally based.
yes,
Yeah.
you just got to put in the work. Of course, I don't mean like be totally numb towards, like I celebrate my wins, even if it's a small win. I try to celebrate myself, and also when a client like drops in a text and says like, hey, like our session was so fruitful.
I love
made
that.
this-
Wow.
I got out of this addiction.
I love that.
And like you made a difference, like I celebrate it, but I don't just like overly, be super happy, and then so I just carry on,
I love that.
Yeah. So for you as well, like
Keep doing it,
keep
right?
doing it.
Doesn't matter zero result. Focus on learning first.
Yeah. And
Honing your skill, editing.
yeah, because Because you don't know, like one small door might lead to a bigger door. So that's why like every client's important. And some of my clients I don't charge them.
Wow.
Because
Why?
I mean that's my way of because I don't believe that only rich people should have access to help.
But what about you? Like, what about your providing the service and all that?
Yeah. So I always believe that when you help people, like God will also like
Bless you.
them. So for my clients who cannot afford,
Yeah.
let's say they are students or they're in between jobs or they haven't been hired for a long time, like I'll be like, okay, just pay whatever you can.
Okay.
Some of them pay me like 20 ringgit, 30 ringgit, you know, but at least it's a cost to them. They appreciate the service. Yeah, I mean, I still service them as how I would treat a normal paying client, right? So
The same service, same process.
Same process.
Wow, girl.
Yeah, just to help them out lah. Yeah.
So if you can pay, please pay. Or even pay better. Oh, actually you can do a pay forward thing.
Yeah, I do that, pay forward. But I think Malaysians don't really get the whole pay forward concept. Yeah.
I'm doing promote. Pay forward. Your bank account.
Yeah, I do have a pay forward concept, but I don't really not many Malaysians know the concept, like understand the concept.
Can you explain to them, like if someone would want to help someone
Yeah.
in need of like therapy, like seriously, like emotional trauma?
So like a pay forward means let's say you yourself have experienced the goodness of what therapy is. So you want to pay forward for someone else to receive or someone else who may not have the opportunity to pay for such services. Yeah, so you can actually like channel the funds to me and I will give them the sessions lah. I mean, you can do it anonymously, you don't have to do it, or if you want a report from me, like, okay, I've did this session for this person A, yeah, then you also can get it.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. It's so good, man. You're really doing on God's, you know.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay, we should go now. It's 2 and we need to, and I have meeting and editing. Like and subscribe, whatever.
So the police in Bangsar is very, very
GG.
efficient.
And I forgot to pay my parking
So
because we were
the moment
rushing.
of truth, whether when we get a ticket.
Let's find out,
Yeah.
shall we? God bless me. But it's been a really fruitful session, so I just want to say thank you.
Okay, on the bright side, it's just 50 ringgit. So
Oh, but it's my fault though. I'm the one who didn't pay. We were rushing. Would someone pay for my bill, you know, like by buying property, by listing their property with me? Wink, 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 wink. Or like, you know, reach out to Pearly for session so she can give me some commission.
to pay for our wrongdoings.
Right. So what do like Christ said about, like, you know, we ask God to forgive our sins, to amend us for our mistake. What do you feel? And He's always like so faithful, listening. And there are consequences to our sin. What do you think?
But you have to pay someone like.
Oh, okay. So God cannot save us. Like the
Maybe,
blood of Christ
maybe.
cannot pay for my.
We still can be hopeful. I mean, but I still see cars getting tickets.
Oh, GG，怎么忘记的？喂，I'm pissed at myself, man. I'm already in zero income, and now I need to pay for my own parking. And sorry, I'm already at zero income, and I need to pay for someone. And my car actually got scratched the other day.
Oh no.
A motorcyclist. I didn't do anything wrong. I was stopping at the traffic, and a motorcyclist just came by. 他们要挤 through the 那个风，然后他就这样子刮到我车。It's not a deep scratch lah, but and I'm not gonna ask him to pay, right?
Can
He
still
can't
got
afford.
hope, don't worry. Maybe really still got hope.
God bless me. Is there a miracle? Are we seeing a miracle today?
Maybe the police was blinded to this room.
Hey, there's no.
Yeah, see, I told you still got hope, still got hope.
There's no people over here.
Police got tired, maybe. Police got tired.
But do you think the police would see videos and be like, okay, 现在我要 check 这边的人?
No lah, they won't know your cup lip.
Wait, there's no people. Oh my god, it's
God. Oh no.
But not on mine.
Where's your cup?
This one.
Ta-da! See? God's faithfulness.
I cannot show. Yeah, anyway, let's go. Wait, are you serious? Oh my god. Did someone pay for me? Oh my god. Wait, are we really seeing a miracle right now?
See? God's faithfulness.
Wow.
Maybe he really pardoned us.
Yeah. So I guess
blinded the police eyes.
well, it's been fun, you guys. What a day, man. What a testimony day.